Hello there and welcome back to some more Gran Turismo 5. Today we're continuing on Let's Play. This is episode 5. In today's episode we're taking a look at the Top Gear Test Track Beginner in the Special Events League. So once again back to the Special Events Hall for the last time, and now time to watch not any other Top Gear crew talk about Top Gear.
Welcome to the Top Gear Test Track, the base of the hugely popular British motoring TV show Top Gear. You probably know all about the Top Gear track already, but let's go over some of the details anyway. It's located at Dunsfold Airfield in Surrey, UK, just 1 hour from London. And it's a short figure-of-8 track with a length of 2.82 kilometres. Because it's a very wide circuit based on an old airfield, first-time drivers will initially find it difficult to figure out which way the track goes, let alone find the racing line. Don't worry though, once you're racing, you'll soon figure it out by following the other drivers. One word of warning, however. As we said, it's a figure-of-8 track, which of course means that it crosses over itself halfway through the lap. This means that there's a danger of collision with other cars as you pass through the crossover. On a normal circuit, you only need to be aware of cars in front and behind you. But on the Top Gear track, you need to look right and left too. Don't forget that when you're out there. The track layout was designed with the assistance from engineers at Lotus, the legendary British sports car maker, with a view to including all types of high and low-speed corners to seriously test both car and driver. It's been used as the base for Top Gear since 2002, and F1 stars such as Michael Schumacher, Jenson Button, Lewis Hamilton and Mark Webber have all driven here while filming for the show. This is where the Top Gear's tame racing driver, the Stig, pushes the world's greatest cars to the limit. Good luck and enjoy the race.
Jeff Gordon may have been terrifying, but the most terrifying thing of all is how fucking boring that was. Anyway, it's Top Gear Test Track Beginner Volkswagen Samba buses, because I guess whoever decided to put this in the game has never watched an episode of Top Gear and how much they hate anything sort of 60s Volkswagen. Anyways, the Top Gear Test Track, we're doing a race round it. Not usually something you'd want to be doing. However, that is what the Top Gear Test Track is about, which is confusing. You'd figure it'd be sort of more an event based on getting a bunch of cars around the track as quick as the Stig did. But I guess that would be too easy, considering the disparities between in-game lap times and lap times that you can actually go ahead and do out in the real world. So what we have here is a 12-car race around the Top Gear Test Track, which is littered with cones which disqualify you as soon as you touch them, and also track limits. So that is essentially what the Top Gear Test Track is. It's 3 races around here, in this case only 1 because this is the beginner race in the Volkswagen Samba bus. Now the rest of the races are a little bit more interesting, this one not so much, but it does teach you the basics of driving around this course, and namely sort of avoiding the cones. The key cones to avoid are these ones. This is the one that's going to fuck you up, especially considering this spot here, sort of going into Chicago, is a really nice overtaking spot. So your key strategy here is to sort of learn how to use that overtaking spot to your advantage. Chicago's good as well because they go very wide through there. You can take quite a shallow line and get them on the inside. Probably pass someone through slipstream down here as well. It's essentially just learning your passing points and learning where the track limits are. Now, I do have to admit, I find this pretty easy, but that is because if you know anything about my YouTube channel, you'll know I have a lot of experience driving around the Top Gear track. I sort of know all the little intricacies of this track, if you will, so maybe it's just because I'm good at it, but I do remember having issues with this race in the past. But yeah, it's essentially just avoid the cones and make the most of your passing points. Your passing points, just to reiterate, are the cones coming towards Chicago itself, and the Hammerhead are your main passing points. You probably be able to get someone down here using the slipstream as well. Just be very careful not to hit that cone on the inside of the corner through the follow through. But yeah, pretty straightforward. Also, this is a pretty good passing spot down here as well, because you can take so much speed through this particular corner. As you can see here, you can literally take this flat out, basically, just with a little bit of a brake, but you definitely don't need to be on the brakes as much as the AI are through here. And in fact, as you can see, I'm pretty much caught up to the lead pack already, which is pretty cool, and I managed to get a really nice thumbnail here. I appreciate my thumbnail game on this particular episode, going 3 wide down there. That was pretty cool. But yeah, as you can see, I'm now in first place, and I essentially just have to keep it on the road, and as a result of that, I can show you my pristine driving abilities. To be fair, I could have probably taken that flat out looking at it now, but I did want to err on the side of caution. Once you're free of the AI, you can actually start going really rather quickly around here. I think I might have even kicked the rear end out a little bit there, which is very impressive in a bus which I think has 50 horsepower. So yeah, as you can see, I'm sort of really gapping the field here just because, again, I know this track, so. But yeah, I have actually managed to fuck this up a few times where I've managed to get out in clean air, not necessarily on this one, but on a few of the ones you'll see coming up, where I've managed to get into clean air and essentially ruin my own thing here because I just overdrive the track because the game is really restrictive on where it wants you to drive. But once you figure that out, again, I know I'm repeating myself over and over again, but there really is nothing to this particular race that's really going to be massively challenging to you other than not falling asleep driving the Samba bus, which admittedly is a bit difficult to follow through. Actually kind of an interesting, they've littered a load of cones around here. Also, yeah, just make sure not to hit those ones because they also disqualify you. If the cone's been knocked over, I don't think it has a disqualification barrier on it, but I did make sure to try and avoid hitting any of the cones that have fallen into the track, just in case, because you're never quite sure how this game will have been coded. Yeah, it is literally flat out through here. Apologies for what I said earlier. As you can see there, literally just flat out in the Samba bus and across the line. Pretty straightforward stuff. As I said, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's a B time. And there you go, first place. You can get bronze in 9th. You should very easily be able to bronze this. But again, as far as I'm concerned, golding it, not a particular challenge. 31,000 credits, which is a lot of money, but do remember you can only do it once to get the prizes, and the AI lets crash into the tyre barrier there, which is always quite amusing to see. Anyways, unsurprisingly, like the last few special events, we don't get a prize card for this one. Instead, we get the ability to drive the Top Gear test track in arcade and practice modes. I'll be sure to take a lot of advantage of that. Hurrah. Also, as I'm showing here, we're 8% of the way through the game, even though I don't think the special events actually count towards the game percentage progress. Anyways, that's it for this episode. Thank you all very much for watching. Next time, we're finally going to go racing, and you're going to hear my voice live for a change, as we take a look at the Sunday Cup in the A-Spec event. So join us for that. Until then, farewell.